A few years ago, my mind felt like a browser with 50 tabs open. I was constantly replaying awkward conversations, obsessing over the what-ifs, and worrying about things that hadn't even happened. And the worst part? The more I thought, the more exhausted I felt. Yet I couldn't stop. If you've ever been stuck in that endless loop of overthinking, you know exactly what I mean. At some point, I realized I wasn't actually solving anything. I was just running in circles, convincing myself that overanalyzing would somehow give me control. But instead, it was draining me. I knew that something had to change. I realized that clarity wasn't about thinking more. It was about thinking better. And once I figured out how to detox my mind, it felt like I could finally breathe. So today, I want to share the exact steps that helped me go from feeling mentally cluttered to actually being at peace. Let's get into it. I remember this one night. I had an important decision to make, and my mind just wouldn't shut up. I kept analyzing every possible outcome, playing different scenarios over and over, thinking that if I just thought about it enough, I'd find the right answer. But after hours of mental gymnastics, I realized something. I wasn't actually getting closer to a decision. I was just making myself more anxious. And that's when it hit me. Overthinking doesn't give you control. It just gives you stress. Looking back, I can see 3 main reasons why I was stuck in that cycle. Reason number 1, my brain craved certainty. I thought that if I could analyze every possible outcome, I could somehow avoid failure or regret. But in reality, no amount of thinking can guarantee a perfect future. Reason number 2, I confused thinking with problem solving. I believed that thinking more meant I was being productive. But there's a big difference. Problem solving leads to answers. Overthinking leads to nowhere. Reason number 3, my mind was overloaded. We live in a world of constant notifications, social media, and to-do lists. My brain never had a moment of stillness, which made it impossible to find clarity. Once I understood these patterns, I realized I needed to detox my mind. And that's exactly what I did. With 4 simple steps. The first time I tried this, it felt weird. Like I was forcing myself to change how I think. But within days, I could feel the difference. Here's what worked for me. One night, I grabbed a notebook and just wrote down everything on my mind. Every worry, every question, every random thought. And suddenly, something shifted. My brain stopped spiraling. Because now, my thoughts were somewhere else instead of bouncing around in my head. Here's why it worked for me. Seeing my thoughts written down made them feel less chaotic. It helped me realize that half the things I was overthinking weren't even important. After brain dumping everything, I looked at my list and asked, can I take action on this right now? If yes, I did it. If not, I let it go. And let me tell you, that one shift alone freed up so much mental space. One of my biggest struggles was letting go of anxious thoughts. So I tried something new. I gave myself a worry window every evening. Anytime an overthinking thought popped up during the day, I'd tell myself, not now. I'll deal with this later. And shockingly, by the time my worry window came, half those thoughts didn't even feel important anymore. The final piece of the puzzle was action. I realized that overthinking thrives on staying in your head. So every time I caught myself spiraling, I asked, what's one small action I can take right now? And that's when I learned, clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from doing more. Looking back, I wasted so much time overthinking things that didn't matter. But the moment I started treating my mind like a cluttered room, clearing out unnecessary thoughts, making quick decisions, and focusing on action, that's when everything changed. Now I want to hear from you. Which step are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments, and if this helped, make sure to follow along because we're just getting started on mastering your mindset. See you in the next one.